we can get started, Lou. Or how about Ruth Ann? Where's Ruth Ann?
Yeah, we need to make sure that she's
Yeah, we need Ruth Ann.
minutes and has the documents.
Yeah, I think Ruth Ann and Jack are the only two we're waiting on right now. I don't see either one of them here yet. We lost you, Jack. Oh, okay. 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 Thanks. I'll get a hold of Ruth Ann. Thank you. Jack should be with us shortly. I know he's doing something there. Let me see if I can get a hold of Ruth Ann. Ruth Ann, have you? You're not on?
Sounds like someone's sleeping.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, where are we at? They both said they're getting on now, so we'll see here. We have Ruth Ann, so we can start, Lou.
I'm not sure if she's connected yet. I mean, her name is displayed on screen, but
Connecting to audio. Are you there, Ruth Ann?
didn't she say she had to connect by phone too because
Okay,
her speaker was
that's
out?
her probably calling
Yeah, I'm
in.
on here
Yeah.
now.
Thank you. We can start.
Yep.
Okay. I'd like to welcome everybody to the August 17th, 2020 meeting of the Redevelopment Authority of the City of Coatesville. We did conduct executive sessions on the 4th and 17th to discuss real estate and then attorney-client privilege matters. I'd like to call the meeting to order.
Oh, Mr. DeShula, we should also say that this is being recorded.
Yeah, yes, it is being recorded, and I believe it's on YouTube. Approval of minutes. Could I get any questions, comments, modifications, or motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Joe. Could I get a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Ricky. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approval of the accounts payable, and I think we have an addition to that. Is that right, Ruth Ann?
Yeah, there were actually 3 of them. I had Econ Partners, because I didn't have their monthly one in the one earlier, and postage, along with the appraisal one.
Yeah, that's John Strickland's a $1,500 bill for the appraisals on the 3 different parcels. I would make a motion to approve the payables. Could I get a second? Any comments, questions?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Additions, deletion, modifications. We do have some additions. The first thing that I would like to announce is the RDA is continuing to do due diligence on two proposals that we have for the Flats property. We are hoping to set up meetings with both the Kingdom Group and the NSEC Group to discuss some issues that we'd like a little more clarification on. We hopefully will be able to have those via Zoom next week. And then the full board will be able to get together and discuss the information that we get to clarify some of the questions that board members have and so forth. So we are moving forward. We're trying to do our due diligence, do the best we can there. On our agenda tonight, we do have to add under new business, letter B as in boy, and that's the DEPG certificate of completion. We will issue a certificate of completion to DEPG, just contingent upon getting the final bill out to them and getting that resolved. Letter C under new business is approval of the PennDOT right-of-way documents, and that would be contingent upon our solicitor's review. There are some changes that need to be made. They don't feel they're a problem, but they haven't been made yet. So we would hopefully be able to get that resolved.
Mr. Chairman, there is a resolution that I did circulate earlier this afternoon that's consistent with what was discussed with Mike Kissinger of Pannoni Associates and Angela Palermo of Arrow right-of-way for PennDOT this afternoon.
Thank you, Lou. So the resolution is actually what we would sign, correct?
Yes.
Letter D as in David under new business would be the approval of an agreement of sale for 731, 733 East Lincoln Highway. Again, subject to our solicitor's review. Tom Taylor and Lou have been going back and forth with the buyer, trying to get a few things resolved. We're very close. We hopefully will be able to get that moving along quickly here. Letter E under new business is a lease extension for Michael's. It's a 6-month extension, just like their previous extension. Tom Taylor's informed us there shouldn't be any problem, but we would approve that again contingent upon Mr. Kumadal's review. So we have no presentations. Any citizens' comments on agenda items? Nothing out there, Sonny?
Let me check YouTube.
Thank you.
I don't see anything.
Thank you. New business. Letter A is in Apple. Receive and consider 204, 206 East Lincoln Highway and 207 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. Redevelopers request for the RDA financing consent letter and or amendment to the redevelopment agreement. Lou, could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. So the redevelopment authority did go to closing with 204 or 4204-206 East Lincoln Highway and 207 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard with the redevelopers earlier this month, and that resulted in the 90% net payment to the city of the net proceeds of a sale that's included in the accounts payable approved by the RDA board. In connection with that closing, just on the eve of that closing, the redevelopers, Mark Lane LLC, requested an amendment to allow the redeveloper to obtain financing for up to $350,000 to allow for immediate renovations of the property, meaning the whole property, the 204, 206 East Lincoln Highway and the 207 Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard piece for restaurant, warehouse space, and offices, which is already in the existing redevelopment agreement. The existing redevelopment agreement has a provision for financing of construction improvements, et cetera, up to the purchase price amount. And they've identified that because of what they intend to do in terms of the restaurant and warehouse space and offices, including not included in the email, but verbally discussed with Chairman DeShulu and I believe Lane of the partnership had indicated that they're going to have to spend some money on focusing the business model for the restaurant at the outset to be kind of focused on a takeout model and COVID-19 precautions taken into account. I think, Mr. Chairman, didn't they also say something about curbside service and some parking arrangements that they would need to make?
And mentioned there's a little courtyard there. They might do some outdoor seating there. I mean, it seemed that they really were trying to put a plan together would work under this COVID environment.
So they had indicated at the closing earlier this month that they do want to get started soon. They have since emailed that they anticipate an adequate projected budget is $350,000 for construction and renovations. They have their economic development liquor license from the PLCB. They are looking forward to starting construction. If it's the board's pleasure, I would suggest submitting to the board for consideration. If they're using the same interim bridge loan financier that they used for their Chestnut Street project, I don't anticipate it will be very difficult to come up in the space of 1 to 2 hours worth of time what they're looking for. If they've changed lenders or if the lender wants new and more detailed terms of an amendment, it might take more like 2 or 3 hours, but I would suggest that the board authorize the solicitor to prepare a financing consent letter and or amendment to redevelopment agreement that would authorize the construction spending budget for up to $350,000 contingent on the redevelopers reimbursing the RDA for the time and cost of preparing that document, and suggest that to the RDA.
Questions, gentlemen? I would make a motion to approve that.
I would second that motion.
Thank you, Tyrone. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Letter B is the certificate of completion for DEPG. We'll have a small final bill to get to them, and then Mr. Commodore will issue that certificate of completion to DEPG. What's your pleasure there, gentlemen?
I'll make the motion on that, Joe.
Thank you, Joe. Could I get a second?
I'll second that, Joe.
Thank you, Ricky. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Letter C is the PennDOT right-of-way documents, which we discussed in our exec session today with Mike Kissinger and Angie from Arrow. That resolution to approve those. What's your pleasure there, gentlemen?
I make a motion to approve this.
Thank you, Tyrone.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jack. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. D is in David under new business is the approval of the agreement of sale 731, 733 East Lincoln Highway, subject to Mr. Kumadol's review. That's the old East End Hardware lot. The young lady's anxious to get going there. Tom Taylor's been working on that. Questions?
Mr.
Yes, sir.
Chairman, so the purchase price that the board previously approved was $32,000, but that was for Miss Rashida Bell, and since that time period, she's identified that her mother would also be taking title to the property with her, and so that would require another change to the agreement of sale. So the purchase price is not changing, but the parties to the agreement would be changing, and since that time, she has also furnished some additional information that's needed for the amended agreement or making changes to the agreement of sale that was previously submitted.
I would make a motion to approve that agreement of sale, contingent upon Lou's final review.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Joe. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Letter E is in Edward on our new business is the Michael's lease. They had 6-month extensions. They're on month-to-month now. They have, in essence, agreed to a 6-month extension. And of course, at the end of that 6 months, we
Sorry,
have
just
a 60-day out. We can notify them that we need the land for redevelopment and they've got to go away. Tom has been working on that. Questions, comments, gentlemen, on that, or a motion?
Just a brief correction. The Michaels had already extended their month-to-month to, I believe it's September 10th or September 11th. And so this proposed lease extension would tie them up for a definitive 6 months running past September, I believe, 11th of 2020, with an additional 6-month extension beyond that, subject to the RDA having the right to, under all circumstances after January rolls by, to tell them that the lease as extended is being terminated early, 60 days for other redevelopment purposes.
Questions?
Oh, and the extended rent would still be $11,000 per month.
Questions for solicitor or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 6 months.
I'll second it, Tyrone. All
I'm
those
sorry,
in
was
favor?
that not to allow for 6 months plus a 6-month extension?
What was that?
Right now, as written, it's for a 6-month extension, absolutely, and then Michael's has the option for an additional 6 months. So that would take us to September 10th of 2021.
My
So
motion still stands.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying that.
And I agree with you, Tyrone. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Citizens' comments. Anything out there for us, Sonny?
No, nothing.
Okay. Our next meeting should be on September 21st. And I appreciate everybody calling in on these Zoom calls. We certainly get better participation here and a bigger audience than we do in person. So I appreciate you taking the time, and hopefully we'll see you again on the 21st. Motion to adjourn.
I make that motion.
Thank
I'll
you,
second
Ricky.
it.
Everybody, I think we're adjourned. Thank you again, and have a good evening, everyone.
Have a good
All
night.
right.
Yep.
See ya.
Thank you.